Hello, this is Bobby from Copal TV Repair. Today with some troubleshooting help for LG 60PB6650-UA. As you can see, that unit that I'm making a video of was actually just opened. The symptom for it is it just keeps on clicking and clicking whenever it's supplied power. I don't know if you can hear the sound. Just click, 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 click. And I actually have done a few other similar videos for other LG plasmas. And I just took the cover off this one. And it's the same familiar picture for, I'm not really sure which generation is it, 11th or 10th, but anyhow, for a plasma power supply, YSUS X main, the two buffer boards in similar generations, very often they have problems with that. But as you can see here, and this is what I'm willing to show you, as you can see, the X main board gets power from the power supply. The Y board does not. The Y board gets power through that cable here from the X main board. And because in plasma TVs, the three most commonly failing boards are the two X boards, sometimes the main boards, the buffer boards fail a lot, but the three probably most notoriously failing boards in any plasma TV are the sustain boards, in some cases the Y, in some cases the X main or the Z sustain, called by others, and the power supply. So in this case we don't know which one it is, but it is a simple and easy check to just disconnect the one that we can disconnect, leaving the rest and seeing whether the TV will stay on. So before I do that, I just again want to do the video with a clicking. Turn on, click, click. Just tries and it cut. Okay, so I disconnect that. The easiest board to disconnect in this case is the Y main board, because it's the one where I can unplug directly from either here or the other end, which is the output of the X main board. Basically, there's just a channel here that passes this power up to this cable. If I disconnect this, then I'll be disconnecting both boards at the same time, and I wouldn't know if the TV stops clicking which one of them is stopping it, is the one that's causing it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I will disconnect just the Y board. And that's how it is, and then I plug. Clicks once, and stays on. Yeah, it didn't click off, which means that most likely this is a bad board. Now let's see if it will click off, in case I missed a click when I play it off. Yep, it did click off. Alright, well, let's take a quick look. Now, we don't know for sure whether it's the Y main or some of the buffers or both. I know LGs, because we've done a lot of LGs, and I would say that very rarely, I mean very, very rarely, a failed buffer board would cause that type of behavior. It is possible that a failed buffer board may have taken down the Y, and the Y would be causing that type of error, or the Y may have failed on its own without any damage on the buffer boards. We still don't know that, but in my experience with LG in particular, and that may be different from others, and pay attention, it may also change from generation to generation. But plasmas are pretty much outdated by now, so we all hardly are in for any surprises within the LG world. So, long story short is, I believe this will be bad. I don't know about those yet, but here's a quick thing that we can try here. If we take a look at the power connector, you will find that it has 6 pins. The bottom one, which is the first, it's marked with this little triangle here, is 18 volts. Then there is 5 volts, then there is ground, then the fourth pin is not connected, and then the last two ones are the sustain voltages, the high voltage needed for engaging the plasma screen. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test resistance on those pins, and for the purpose of doing that I'm just sticking one of the poles to the chassis, which is ground, and the most commonly failing one is VS. If I find a short, which is pretty much the same thing, you know, no resistance or very low resistance, that means it is bad. So what I'm doing is I'm testing on those first two pins. You don't see it, but it is there. And yes, it is short. Second pin is also short. The next one is not connected. I'm going in reverse direction, pay attention. I'm going left to right. So when I say first, this is VS, VS, then the next one, VS, VS, not connected, nothing here. Next one is ground, that is proper, normal short, since my other probe is on ground. Then the 5 volts gives me 430, that is normal. 18 volts, 601, that is normal. I don't know what exactly is normal, but it's, you know, hundreds of ohms, which for 18 volts is a really low current. That doesn't sound like a shorted. That's how I know it's normal. So this board does have a shortage on VS. It will be one of those components here. I don't know yet which one or more. I may find that there is shortage here. I don't believe there will be. But this is the board that basically will need to be replaced or repaired. Now, depending on the failure, it may turn out to be that it has to be more complex troubleshooting. But this is how it is. This is what it turned out to be for a proper solution. This board is EBR77185601. The one thing that I want to add at the end is a lot of people will tell you go and buy that board from a harvester like Shop Jimmy or, you know, anybody else out there, including possibly us. I would say this: sometimes that's beneficial, sometimes it is not. If the board comes from a brand new TV, and in case like harvesters like Shop Jimmy, in all fairness, this is likely most commonly the case. If it comes from a brand new TV, that's a relatively good deal for you. In some cases it may be coming from a TV that is used though, and you don't know where it comes from. And if I were you, I wouldn't trust anyone who tells you where this come from. I don't trust Shop Jimmy, I don't trust anybody. Not because I think people are evil, I think most of the time because it's too complicated and too expensive to actually keep notes of what comes from where. And, you know, everybody's entitled in their opinion. I just, knowing the business, do not believe that very often. Sometimes you don't have a choice, you believe it, you give it a shot. It really depends. It's a mixture of factors: price, ability to return, etc., etc. Sometimes it may be actually better, especially if the board is already not available on mainstream harvesters like, again, Shop Jimmy or us or anybody else. Then you will definitely be better off sending it for repair to somebody who knows what fails and will be replacing everything with brand new components there. And that's gonna not double the life of the board, because there will still be a lot of components that are used on it. But at least we'll be replacing the ones that tend to fail now, based on the experience and the knowledge of whoever is doing the repair. It may actually be the better thing to do, rather than buying a board from a TV that something else failed on, like the power board, and somebody took the parts off, put them on eBay, and you will be buying a board that has worked, you know, a couple of 5-6 years and it's ready to fail at any given moment. Those are specifics of the business. TVs are getting so cheap. Don't know how much that will help, but hope it will. That is all for now. Thanks.